Oh my gosh. I feel like the smartest person alive right now. Okay. Okay. All right. So, my name is Stephanie Scotch, and I am in Birmingham, Alabama, and welcome to Sunday Strong. This is the Sunday before Memorial Day, which is like the Sunday before summer kickoff. Um, and I want this to be like a super interactive call. I want you guys to be engaged in the call. If there's anything that I say while we're chatting, or while I'm speaking that you resonate with, put it in the chat. Like, tell us that you're connected. Um, Anything you want to say, like that you resonate with, just put it in the chat. And then we're going to open it up for some like good discussion in a little bit. Um, Also, I really want this call to be, I always love for these calls to be about, not just about how much ketchup can you have. Because, like, we can find that on the Facebook page, or we can text coach support, or excuse me, client support. Like, I really want this to be nitty gritty, raw, vulnerable, like, get down in the weeds, and be different, right? Okay. So, this is a safe space. I'm going to share some things with you that you might be like, oh my goodness, I don't even know this lady, but she's sharing some like dirty details. I want you to know you're safe to share those things too. Okay. So, um, first, I want to ask everybody to put in the chat if there's anybody here that is either just starting, so like you started the month of May, like this is your first start, or if you've been here for a while, but your first month was in May, like you started program right before summer started. I want to see if there's anyone else in here that was like me. Um, I'm looking in the chat. Day 5. Awesome. Mitzi, day 5. Yay. Another May girl. Day 8, Michelle. Amy started May 22, 2022. Oh my gosh, all these people that are in here that are y'all are only on your first week and you're here on this call. Incredible. Amazing. Okay, so definitely I want you to give yourself a big round of applause for just being here on this call. So a little bit of background about me. I started plan. I'm going to be full disclosure here. I started Optavia. My very first go around was in August of 2019. Okay. I was 45 pounds overweight. I was a mom. I'm still a mom, but I was an emotional eater, a food addict, um, had a lot of stuff that had happened in my life, like we all do, but I never learned the tools on how to cope. So I was just eating all the feelings. And when I started program originally in August of 2019, you guys, I just wanted a diet. I just wanted something to help me lose 15 pounds. Okay. Notice I needed to lose 45, but I didn't think I could lose 45. So I was just like, I just need to lose 15 pounds because summer was over. We're getting ready to start school, and I had had a lot of fun. Well, not really, but I mean, I was off the rails. So I started program in August of 2019. I ate these fuelings so good. I ate 5 every single day. I ate a lean and green. I drank my water. Guess what else I did? Nothing. That's all I did. I didn't talk to my coach. In fact, bless her heart, she was an amazing coach. She called me every week. She texted me every week. Guess what I did? I ghosted the crap out of her. And I felt terrible because she was amazing. But I was still in that diet mentality. Hold on, I'm echoing. Okay, Jen, we had to mute you, baby. Okay, I was still in that diet mentality. I didn't want to do the mental work up here. I didn't want to talk to my coach. I just wanted a quick fix. Well, I got a quick fix. And then I quit. And then I gained all the weight back, plus some. And my food addiction got worse. And my marriage got worse. And I was a less present mom until May, the month of May of 2020. So you'll remember that was like right after COVID. Um, we'd only been in COVID for like, I guess a couple of months, maybe. I don't even remember. It's all a blur, but I do remember drawing a line in the sand, May of 2020. And I said, I've got to do this again. I knew Optavia worked, right? Like I knew it worked, but I didn't work the program like I should. So I went all in May, ate the fuelings, got really connected to this community, got on these calls, even though I was like, that's weird. These calls are weird. You guys, they saved my freaking life. Okay. I got on the calls. I talked to my coach. I owned my crap. All right. And I'm like, you're probably thinking like, May, great timing. Okay. Pool parties, vacations, margaritas. I didn't care. I was done. I was desperate. I had done my stint before with Optavia. And this time I knew I had to go all in, right? And I didn't care that it was May. I just knew that I needed help. I knew that my son needed a more present mom. I knew I couldn't continue the way I was continuing. I had to do something different. So, I've been doing this for 5 years. I have been 5 years ago in May is when I started officially my second stint of Optavia. I went on to lose my 45 pounds within um, about 4 months. Really, I lost about 32. And then I just kept leveling up. And now I've lost 45 pounds. But the goal is to keep it off long term, right? Well, I'm here telling you, you can. You can keep the weight off long term. And people ask me all the time, how in the world do you do it? Well, that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about kind of like the bullet points, like the my top, 5 or 6 um things, pieces of advice to help you know that if you're starting, you can keep this weight off. Or if you've come back, you can lose it again and keep it off for good. Okay. So you're probably thinking, great, I'm here now, or I'm back again. And will I gain the weight back? Here is my disclaimer. If you go back to your old habits, like I did my first go around of Optavia, of course you're going to gain the weight back. You can't numb your life's problems with cupcakes and margaritas and expect to keep the weight off. It's just science, okay? But if you do the work up here, okay, if you really put in the mental work, you will keep it off. You have got to lean into your coach the whole way, even after you hit your goal. I still talk to my coach. Like, I still remember maybe about a year ago or two, maybe 2 years ago. I'm a binge eater. Okay. I'm a recovering binge eater. And there was a moment where I caught myself slipping back into those old habits. And you guys, I binged on a whole loaf, an entire loaf of white bread. Don't know why I didn't pick anything fancier. A whole loaf of white bread. And I called my coach the next day and I said, I am binging again, and it's not even on good stuff. It's on stupid crap like white bread. And I knew that I had more work to do up here. Okay. So even after you hit your goal, you've got to stay connected to your coach because you are never done becoming, right? This is a whole new lifestyle. And thank God it is because I wouldn't dare go back to who I was before. And that's as humans, we are always meant to grow. Okay. So let's talk real talk, right? Like people always say, are you still eating 5 fuelings every day? No, I am not. Okay. Now, I will say I do still eat fuelings because they're amazing and they're awesome. And why wouldn't I, right? I've got to eat. So, yes, I do still eat fuelings, but I also eat whole foods. Sometimes I am doing a 5-in-1 if I need to reset a little bit or if my schedule is just wonky that day and that's all the capacity I have is to do a 5-in-1. Sometimes I'm doing a 5-in-1. Sometimes I'm doing a 4-in-2. Sometimes I'm doing a 3-in-3. But the main thing is I focus on a lot of protein, veggies, low glycemic fruits, movement like yoga and strength training. Okay. But I'm always doing the mental work because that's what got me here. Okay. Not doing the mental work is what got me to being 45 pounds overweight and a food addict, right? Now I'm focused on the habits, okay? The habits that I have changed. And you guys, these habits were not something that just happened overnight. I didn't overhaul all of my habits overnight, okay? They were built a little at a time. But here's what I'm not focused on anymore. I'm not focused on emotional avoidance, dishonesty, pretending I'm fine, binging in the pantry when everyone is asleep, the dieting in the dark that got me 45 pounds heavier. That's not ever going to be my story again. So, yes, I eat veggies, I eat fruit. Guess what else I eat? Sometimes I eat pizza and sometimes I eat cupcakes, but I don't eat them out of emotion anymore. I save special for special. And yes, like I said about the white bread, okay? There are still moments because I'm human and we're always leveling up and we're always growing and developing personally, especially if you're really digging into this. There are moments that I want to binge, okay? And that urge comes up. But now I catch it a lot quicker and I say, okay, how do I want to feel after this? Do I want to feel tired? Do I want to feel bloated? No, I want to feel in control and clear minded. And what's really cool, I think this is probably one of the coolest superpowers that I feel like I've gotten of after doing, this for 5 years, um, is I finally took the power away from the scale. Okay, you guys, I get on the scale every single day, whether I want to or not. And I use it as information. I kind of use it like a game now, like a challenge, right? Like I know now what my body reacts to because of all of this kind of detective work I've been doing over the years. Okay, so about my body, I know things to avoid, like foods to avoid, not out of fear, but because I care how I feel and I just use it as data. Okay. So, like, for example, for me specifically, I stay away from pork and cheese and grains because they're inflammatory to me. Now, that doesn't mean that I never eat them. I just don't eat them often. And if I had avoided the scale throughout this whole process, I wouldn't have ever learned that about my body. Like, pork isn't necessarily like terrible for you, if you're eating it in moderation, or cheese or grains like dairy, like that's not bad for you. But my body reacts a certain way to it. So now, if I eat it and I see that the scale's gone up a little bit, I don't freak out and say, well, this isn't working. I'm going to go eat all the cupcakes because I'm pissed off. No, I just know, okay, my body is super sensitive to sodium, super sensitive to these foods that are inflammatory. So I just don't eat them very often. Like, it's really not that big a deal. The other thing I did was I completely cut out alcohol. Okay. And maybe you're not there yet, and that's okay. But for me, alcohol was extremely inflammatory. Okay. I'm a 43-year-old woman. It was messing with my hormones, it was messing with my sleep. Um, since cutting that out, the inflammation in my whole body has gone down tremendously, and I don't miss it. And it wasn't helping me. It actually was turning like into another coping mechanism for me because at first food was my coping tool. I worked through that, but then whiskey being my nightcap to chill out when really it was just pouring gasoline on my already overactive anxiety disorder. It wasn't serving me. So now I don't drink. I just don't. And I feel amazing. And that's another way that this plan has changed my life because I leaned in mentally. Okay. This is going to maybe make someone feel a little uncomfortable. Or maybe your coach has told you this already and you're like, dang it, I'm hearing it again. This reason is probably one of the biggest reasons I am still leveling up in my health. The power of coaching, of becoming a coach yourself. Okay. Now, it is not as scary as you think it is, all right? It is a way that you just bring someone along on your bus with you, even if it's one person, because you're not going to drive your own. You could drive your own self off the cliff, right? Like that's what we say. Like if you were the only person on your bus, real easy to drive the bus off the cliff. But if you have someone with you, even if it's just one person, you're not driving that bus off the cliff, okay? And it can look like anything for you. It can be as simple as bringing on that just one person, okay? But creating a healthy community not only with these Zoom calls, but also within your circle of influence will be a game changer. Think of it as like your insurance policy to not gain your weight back. So, if you have thought about that, or if your coach has told you that you need to coach, you really need to lean into that too. Because, like I said, it's not as scary as you think. And you might actually get to meet some of the best friends you will ever have in your life, like Jana Cotton, who is my co host, Jana and Caroline. Like, I didn't know Jana and Caroline. Now I can't live without them. Okay. And like I see other people on this screen that I could not live without. So you're going to meet some of the best friends of your life. All right. So now let's talk about summer strategy. Okay. Because I want you to put in the one in the chat if you are scared to death of summer. Like, if you're like, how in the world am I going to do this? And it's summer. Okay, yay. I love the honesty. Katie, MP, Christy, iPhone 2, Deborah. Oh, here's another side note. If you don't have your name on your little Zoom square, go ahead and change it, like, so that we know who iPhone is or Samsung. Like, that's just a lot more fun. Okay, Alicia, I probably said that wrong. Lisa, ice cream. Okay, so I'm going to give you some summer strategies, okay? We're going to treat summer as if it's any other time of the year, all right? I know that there are birthdays and there are barbecues and there are beach trips and pool parties and lake houses, but you guys, we're going to show up smart, okay? There is a healthy alternative to anything, anywhere that you can make, okay? Or one little swap that you can make. If you're headed to a barbecue, the lake, the pool party, bring something on plan. Like, if you're not in charge of the cooking and you're a guest, bring something on plan and share it with everybody. If you don't want to cook, go to the grocery store and get a veggie tray and show up with your badass veggie tray, okay? And your water and some fuelings packed away, like just in case. Or make a awesome on plan dish. Like, there's a bajillion recipes in the app, or Google it or whatever. Bring something on plan that everyone can share so you feel like you're in control. Another thing, don't go to the barbecues or the parties or the lakes or the beach or whatever like ill prepared, okay? Don't go hungry. Make sure you've been on plan. Make sure you've had your fuelings, your water. Definitely don't go hungry. And if it's something that stresses you out, like before you're going to go, for whatever reason, if you're like, I don't know, if you know you're going to see somebody that's going to stress you out or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why anyways, you can make sure that before you go, you just kind of settle into like a grounding exercise where you're like, okay, I'm in control. I've got my water. I've got my fueling. I'm going to make this all about having an amazing experience. It's not related to food, like, so that you're not there at the party trying to numb out and avoid with the food, you know? So be prepared, okay? Another thing is for summer in general, trips, pool days, lake days, whatever, set yourself up for success, okay? And make it so easy on yourself. I want you to stash your fuelings that are easy to grab, like that you don't have to prepare. Stash them everywhere. The crunchers, okay? Like the nacho cheese poppers, the cereal. Like, I'm eating this stuff right out of the bag. No almond milk, no nothing. I mean, it's just like a little snack. The bars are great too, but just don't leave them in your car because, like, especially if you're in the South, because they're gonna melt. But just things that you can literally just open and eat. You know, like you can just throw them in your bag and eat. The cinnamon sticks, and okay, here, let me just let you know now, the cinnamon sugar sticks, if you haven't heard yet, they're being retired on May 28th. Okay, they're no longer going to be available, but have no fear. There is a new cinnamon pretzel, like a sugary cinnamon pretzel, that's going to be coming out. And I got to try them at headquarters in Baltimore. And oh my goodness, I don't know when they're coming out yet, but they are coming out. So make sure you've got your cinnamon sticks in your cart, because they're going to be gone May 28th. And you don't want to be like, dang it, I missed it. Another super thing that you can keep is these calorie burn infusers for your water. Right here. These are great. Poolside, beachside, lakeside, throw them in your water. If you don't have the popcorn, I don't have any here with me, but if you haven't tried the popcorn, keep the popcorn with you. The sour cream and cheddar is my absolute favorite. If you give me a bag of Optavia popcorn and this calorie burn infuser, and I'm sitting by the pool, I'm a happy gal. Okay. So these types of little things will help you be set up for success. Super simple. You're not having to mix anything up or like carry a shaker bottle. Like just open the dadgum cereal and eat it, or open the popcorn and eat it, and put this in your water and call it a day. The last thing I want to say is the whey protein powder. This is vanilla, but you can make it like a copycat Wendy's Frosty, okay, that I absolutely love to make at night, especially in the summer. And it tastes just like a Wendy's Frosty, you guys, and it's super filling. So, like I said earlier, there is a healthy alternative to everything you want, okay? You just have to be intentional and make the choice to use the healthy swap. And you guys, if you're at a restaurant, I mean, you can stay on plan and have a lean and green anywhere you go. You just have to be willing to ask, like for substitutions. And before I started plan, I would have never asked. I would have been like, I'm bothering them by saying, can I have some extra lettuce? They don't care as long as you're paying the bill, okay? Like, ask for what you need. You're worth it, okay? People make substitutions all the time for their, gluten intolerance or their dairy intolerance or whatever they have. There's nothing wrong with you saying, hey, I would like to substitute the potatoes or the French fries for the broccoli. Like, even if it doesn't say you can on the menu, you know what they're going to say? Absolutely, no problem. Okay. Even like going to a Mexican restaurant, instead of chips, ask for I always ask for just bell pepper slices. Okay. And the people around me at first, they were like, that's weird, but I didn't care. I just asked for the bell pepper slices and I dipped that in my cheese dip instead of the chips. Problem solved. Okay. You just have to ask and know that you're worth asking for. Okay. Um, Heather Wright. Okay, the Frosty recipe, if you look on the Facebook page, the client support Facebook page, I posted that a few days ago, or maybe it was last week. If you just type in Wendy's Frosty in the search bar, the recipe should come up. All right, now let's talk about alcohol, okay, and mocktails. Okay, so if you are choosing to have alcohol, then you're sticking to the clear liquors, right? Like tequila, um, gin, what else? Vodka. Okay. Just remember, those are going to slow you down. Okay. So avoid it really. I mean, I would, alcohol's not really part of Optavia, like part of the health plan. But if you're going to make that choice, just know going into it, it's going to slow you down and it's going to make you more susceptible to temptation because, of course, alcohol lowers your inhibitions. So the cheese sticks or the pizza or the cheeseburger or whatever, it's going to look a lot more tempting after you've had that gin and tonic or whatever, gin and diet tonic water, whatever. So, my advice would be stick to mocktails, okay? When everyone else is drinking, you can ask for a sugar-free, alcohol-free option, okay? Like, there's another coach on our team. She posted this a couple days ago, or maybe it was today. A virgin mojito. Mojito is a great option, okay? Like, just again, don't be afraid to ask. Also, if you're around people that are drinking and you don't want to drink, then never let your hand be empty. Like, always have something in your hand, a water, um, or your mocktail, okay? Or like a sparkling water with fruit. Something in your hand will help you stay grounded, okay? And it helps you to focus on the life that you're creating, not the one you're trying to avoid, okay? Now, I want you to maybe, if you haven't done this in a while, really revisit your why and dig deeper. What do you want this summer? Why are you here? I tell my clients all the time, write down 5 reasons why you want this. Step away from those reasons, then come back and write down underneath each reason why that's important to you. And then send those to your coach. Send those reasons to your coach. If you have not done that, like layer deeper kind of exercise in a while or ever, do it tonight and send it to your coach and let them fight for you because life isn't easy. Summer is not going to be easy because life's just not easy, right? You're either coming out of a storm or you're in one right now or you're about to walk into one. That's just life. And there's no cupcake, no Cheez-It, no glass of Prosecco or margarita that's going to fix that storm. Okay. Another thing, you've got to stick to your routine. Your routine is your rescue. Okay. Stick with structure. I know summer comes with like routines out the window, school's out, like there is no structure, but you have structure with this plan. So keep sending your weight to your coach. Get on these calls. Stay close to the fire. Okay. Think of these calls as your AA, but for food. And that's awesome. Okay. Follow your plan. If you make an off plan choice, you guys, don't spiral. Just make your next best choice in 2 hours. There's no morality tied to food, okay? You're not bad. You just made a choice. So in 2 hours, make a different one, okay? You also have to be fueling your mind, okay? So, like coming to these calls, great. But also, like listening to podcasts. And you guys, I didn't even know what a podcast was before I started this plan 5 years ago. Like, I had no idea how to find them. I had no clue what they were, where, like, didn't know how to listen to them. But there's one, I listened to it today. And if there's another coach on here that could put this in the chat while I'm talking, like, could find it for me and put the link in the chat, that'd be awesome. But it's Elizabeth Benton's Consistency podcast, and it's her episode 1307. It's called it's about the blind spot, okay? And she talks about the blind spots that we have, okay? And how the things that we're avoiding, that's the very thing that's keeping us stuck, like the scale, the bank account, the hard conversation. Cheryl Sandberg says she just listened to it an hour ago. It's a super quick one. It's like 20 minutes. It's amazing, okay? What else are you avoiding? Are you avoiding the coaching check-in after you think you've had a bad week? Maybe, okay? We avoid this because we don't want to feel the truth of it, right? But here's what she said, and I loved this. She said, the belief that going to food is comfort is actually a lie. It's just an avoidance tactic, okay? So, you guys, we don't need cupcakes, we need connection. You need clarity. And food doesn't give you connection and it doesn't give you clarity. It gives you a moment and then it leaves you stuck, okay? So, you not checking in with your coach because you had a bad week, that's a blind spot, okay? We have to call out our comfort lives because shame thrives in secrecy. But when you bring it to light, it totally takes the power away, okay? Then, this was a big thing. You have to replace the judgment. Like if you're judging yourself for going off plan or you think you're a bad person because you went off plan and you're avoiding your coach, replace judgment with leadership. Okay. How would you lead your friend that maybe came to you saying they went off plan during the week, right? Like, how would you lead them? You would not lead them with judgment. Okay. If you've gained some of your weight back, own it. I did. I gained my weight back and I had to own it. We've all been there. Okay. Ask yourself, how can I lead myself in this moment? She said this too, which was great. You need more data and less drama, which means get on the dang scale. Get on the scale. It's just data. Look at your bank account. It's just data or data, however you say it. Stop telling yourself you can't handle whatever that answer is going to be. Like whatever you're going to see on the scale, you can handle it. Okay. Seeing it doesn't make it any different or any worse. But what it does is it gives you your power back. Avoiding it steals your momentum. So think about this. What is your blind spot? Okay. Maybe it's not the scale. Maybe you're a champ at getting on the scale, right? But maybe it's your bank account. Maybe you still avoid that. I did. Maybe it's your accountant. I avoided the accountant too. Okay. Maybe it's your taxes. Maybe it's your debt. Maybe it's something that's not the scale. Okay. But whatever it is, what is it? Because that fear is hijacking you and you have to call it out. So strip away the tendency to avoid because avoiding it is way more uncomfortable in the long run. And lastly, okay, but you guys, certainly not least, if I had a megaphone and like I could shout this throughout the whole planet so everyone could hear this and really soak it in, it would be amazing. Okay. Stop letting the scale ruin you. Stop letting it ruin your day. Okay. We've got to stop freaking out if the scale goes up or stays the same or doesn't drop every day. Okay. I get so many people, and I love you guys. Like, if some of my clients are on here, you know I love you. But people are like, oh my God, the scale, it's up 0.2 ounces. Okay, you guys, it's okay. You have a body. If you're a woman with ovaries and uterus and all that those amazing things that make you a woman, you have hormones, okay? And if you're not a woman, that's awesome too. You still have a body. You are a living, breathing organism, okay? It's normal. It's normal for your body to fluctuate and for the scale to fluctuate. It doesn't mean the plan's not working. It doesn't mean that you failed. It means your body is being a body. Okay. Maybe you had too much sodium. Maybe you need to go to the bathroom. Okay. Maybe you trained really, really hard at the gym or you worked out really hard and your muscles are just holding water. Breathe and trust the process. Okay. Because I promise you, if you marry the process and divorce the results, you will get to where you want to be and you will learn how to keep it off long term. Okay. So, I want to wrap it up because I haven't talked entirely too long. Okay, I'm from the South. That's what we do. But I want to hear from you. Okay, like I want to have a real conversation. I know I'm not the only one who's had to fight for this. Um, and I know I'm not the only one who's had to show up through really hard seasons through this. Okay, so if anything has hit home for you, come off mute. Let's talk about it. Raise your Zoom hand. If you are a coach, okay, like, we love you. We say this every call. We love you, coaches. But let's save this space for clients. And I know clients are always, or coaches are always clients first. But if you have like a coaching question, save that for our coach calls. But if you are a client and you're feeling stuck right now, or, there's something you've been avoiding this summer, like a pool party or an event because you're not feeling confident yet. Let's talk about that. Or maybe what's your reason for saying yes to plan? Or what's one thing you're committing to this week to move the needle forward? So, or anything you want to talk about, like that's maybe you're struggling with or that you want to celebrate. So come be brave and raise your hand. There's 160 people on here. Catherine Vaughn. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me ask you to unmute.
Hello.
Hi.
So I just wanted to share a win. So this week I decided, I've been pretty good on plan, but I was doing